I don't have the words to tell you how proud I am. It makes me almost tear up just thinking about all the stuff we've done and people that recognize the name they've gotten real nice new equipment now and to take care of it. It just makes me proud. I mean, that's the main thing I feel. Just everybody said, oh, Bowen Construction, and that was a big name for a long time, and then it became Superior Bowen, and now everybody knows SB, and it's gratifying.
It was 1948, and it was just kind of business as usual. I mean, we had an asphalt plant, we had a quarry. One of my oldest memories was my father decided that the mine was in a shaft. So it was, I don't know, maybe 100 feet down, 80, 100 feet underground. He decided he was going to take his new oldest son to see the shaft. I went down the shaft and it got darker and it got wetter, and the only thing I could think of was seeing my mother. So my dad recalled at the time that the comment that was made was, "I want my mommy." When Dad passed away in 1963, Mom moved in. She didn't know anything about building the jobs. It was a tough deal with women, a woman being in the business. It was kind of a man's business. It was a transition for her, but she handled it well. She was smart, and it came across.
Matt and I both went to work as laborers. I think we started when we were each 13 or 14, and I remember some of the jobs we had that I got to be buddies with the crew members, and I think some of the pictures are up on the wall about the guys that I broke in with. It was a good learning experience to start out as a laborer and then work my way up.
With us, I think you end up talking about big projects that were, part of the story. Building the stadium parking lots, it was a good talking point for such big contractors. It was like a $4 million job, and at that point, in 1970, that was a big deal. We had letters focusing on the fact that it was the best installation that they'd ever had. It was a thrill at the time, but we were fighting up a weight class a little bit on that job.
I was still in college when we were doing this sports complex. I didn't get out until 75, and it was completed in 72. When I came back, I was doing estimating and that sort of thing, and then turned out to be that we needed field people but more than we need an estimator, and so I went out in the field, and then I figured out that we needed crew leaders, and so I became a superintendent.
Through a period through there, it wasn't a great place to be. I mean, it was just kind of a survival mode. It was right around, the late 70s that we'd been through quite a few issues, and then things kind of started to turn around.
In 1990, we started joint venturing with Superior Asphalt. We ended up doing it for 10 years, and we were pretty much bidding all the public work. That went fairly well, and then we kind of decided that it was time for us to either merge or break away. We came up with a deal. It was 50-50, and it worked out really well over the years. I think 2000 or so is when Trey started. Trey's strong suit at that point was understanding the relationships, and he'd come in and go over the financials every month with me, and why did we do this? Why did we do that? And I could tell. I'd go home and talk to my wife and tell her that Trey's got real potential to run this company. My son Matt, he had gone to work for an outfit out of California where he met his wife. He was wanting to come back to Kansas City, and there was a spot for him.
My earliest memory of my interest in the business was in 5th grade. I had to write a book, and part of writing that book for that assignment was the cover had an about the author. And in 5th grade, I wrote that when I grew up, I wanted to run the family business. I started working on the crews in high school, And that was a great experience. It gave me a real appreciation for what goes on out in the field. When I graduated from college, a few months before is when we merged Bowen Construction with Superior Asphalt. So that really kind of changed things right at the end of my college career. We always had a rule that we should go work somewhere where your name's not on the door. I went to work for Ernst & Young, and I traveled literally every week of the year. I got a lot of great experience doing it. About 2 years later, my dad called and said, "You're growing fast, we need people." So I came back and started working in project management, learning the business. I had done a lot of time in the field, and now it was more on the office side, and that began my journey to where I am now.
I spent a decent amount of weekends driving around with my dad to the projects that they had going on. I would get to hear the chatter on the CB radio that was in his car, and we'd drive out to the different jobs and get to listen to him talk to our superintendents and project managers. I really enjoyed that. That was kind of my first exposure to the different projects. And fast forward to high school, in the summers, I would work as a laborer out on the paving crew and grading crew, and that was really a great experience. I never really envisioned or thought about doing anything else.
I think the things that have remained consistent from the beginning of my interaction with the business to today is respect for the people. We respect the people that work here. We respect our customers, and we expect the same. So there's always been a very respectful culture.
The company is the people that work there. I think that's helped maintain that authenticity, and we've been really lucky to have many families, many generations of a lot of different families work here. I think that's really helped keep the company grounded and rooted.
The business has always believed and practiced is to do the right thing. And when we tried to put into words what our core values were, to me, I think it's so important, especially in this industry, to just do the right thing. They often say a reputation takes a lifetime to build and about 5 minutes to ruin. We try to keep that in mind and just do what the right thing is, regardless of the cost impacts. And we work hard to try to make sure it's a culture that we're proud of. I think it's a culture that's founded on respect, respecting everybody in the building, and really trying to build a team atmosphere where we're attracting good players, really, really good players, talented players, and we're trying to give them the autonomy to do their job. I think what we know about the future is that we want to continue to grow and create opportunities and challenges for our people. We believe that that's how we'll keep good people. The only way to do that is to keep them engaged, keep them challenged, keep them excited to come to work.
It's a testament to so many people that have been here over the years and worked here and put their life into this company.
I think the statistics I remember are that 13% make it to the third generation and goes down from there to the fourth. Now that we're in the third, we've defied the odds of most family businesses, and I don't deserve much of the credit for us getting to that point, but I am proud that we're now well into the third generation and we're doing well and thriving. I don't know what will happen with the next generation, but I think, being part of a family that been able to have a successful business for that long is a great accomplishment. I'm very proud of. I think though it speaks as much about our family and the values that we have and the great people we've been able to attract here and that have stayed here and grown the business with us, alongside us.
I enjoyed working with both the boys. They're very well respected in the construction business, and just couldn't be prouder.
I often think about how much Dad accomplished in just 15 years and how our family business has continued to evolve over the past 75 years. I think we just were proud of the boys and the way they've taken over. John and I inherited the legacy, but Trey and Matt took it to a whole new level with their vision and determination. Mom and Dad would be so proud of what we've achieved together.